Good morning, dear student. Welcome to our new session of electric potential and capacitor. So, in this session, we'll discuss a numerical and some derivations related to electric potential topic. Soon we'll completed electric potential chapter, my dear student. So, this is the numerical in which they are asking that find electric field, direction and magnitude in the given region. We have to find magnitude of electric field and its direction in this given region, my dear student. So in question, this is y-axis, this is x-axis, this is an plane equipotential surface having potential 10 volt. This is another an plane equipotential surface having potential 20 volt. This is another an equipotential surface having potential 30 volt. Now, as we all know that the direction of electric field is always from higher potential to lower potential. As we all know, the direction of electric field is always from higher potential to lower potential. So this is plane equipotential surface, and we must remember this thing, my dear student. With respect to equipotential surface, the electric field is always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. These things are already discussed by us, that first thing, electric field is always from higher potential to lower potential, first thing. And second thing, if the surface is plane, then the direction of electric field is always perpendicular to the direction of equipotential surface. So we have to make the direction of electric field. So the direction of electric field must be perpendicular to the equipotential surface. So this is the direction of electric field. See, my dear student, electric field in every point is perpendicular to the equipotential surface, and it is from higher potential to lower potential. As this surface carry 30 volt potential, this surface carry 20 volt potential, and this surface carry 10 volt potential. So the direction of electric field is always from higher potential to lower potential, first thing. And second thing, electric field is always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. So I'll write the direction of electric field is always from direction of electric field is always from higher potential to lower potential, first thing. And second thing, it always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. So both conditions will be applicable. First condition is direction of electric field is always from higher potential to lower potential, and second thing, it is always perpendicular to equipotential surface. So these surfaces are equipotential surface, and if you look, these surfaces are plane equipotential surface. So we'll make direction of electric field in such a manner that it always perpendicular to the equipotential surface, first thing. And second thing, it always from higher potential to lower potential. Now see, my dear student, this is a point. Let's suppose we move along x-axis. So I am imagine, let we move along x-axis. So if you are seeing here, then this angle must be 30 degree, because this is 90, this is 60. So this angle must be 30 degree, my dear student. This angle must be 30 degree. Now see, the electric field is making angle with this axis, and the angle is 30 degree. So as we all know, electric field is a vector quantity, and if any vector quantity makes some angle, then we have to split its component. So this electric field is making angle 30 with this x-axis. So cos component must be in this direction, and sine component must be in this direction. So what it will be? It is E x cos 30, or we can say simply E cos 30, and this component must be E sin 30. Now see my dear student, as we all know, we will move along x-axis and electric field is making 30 degree. So component is E cos 30 and E sin 30. Component is E cos 30 and E sin 30. Component is E cos 30 and E sin 30. Now see my dear student, this angle is 30 degree which electric field is making. So if angle is 30 degree, theta is equals to 30 degree, it means theta is less than 90 degree. So it is but obvious that if theta is less than 90, then the electric potential is decreases by the factor ED. We know that for all acute angle, electric potential is decreases by the factor ED. So I'll write potential is decreases by the factor of ED. As we all know, angle is less than 90, and if theta is less than 90, then it is but obvious that potential is decreases by the factor ED. So decrease in potential must be ED. So see, this surface carry potential 30 volt, this surface carry potential 20 volt. So we'll say change in potential, or we can say decrease in potential, is 30 minus 20 is equals to E, and along with E we have to write D. So 30 minus 10, so 10 is equals to ED cos theta. So it is ED cos theta, and we know that potential is decreases by the factor ED. So 10 is equals to E into D. This is 15, this is 10, so D becomes equals to 5 into cos theta is 30 degree. So 10 is equals to E into 5 into cos 30 must be root 3 by 2, my dear student. So root 3. So 20 by 5 into root 3 is equals to E. 5 4s are 20. So E becomes equals to 4 by root 3. I hope you all understand. This is the value of, this is the, oh my god, this is centimeter in centimeter. This 5 is in centimeter, so we have to convert it into meter. So it is 5 by 100, 5 by 100 and 5 by 100. So 400 by root 3 is the value of, my dear student, electric field. 400 by root 3 is the value of electric field. Now we have to express this electric field in terms of I cap and J cap, because they are asking for direction as well. So the magnitude of electric field is 400 by root 3 and its direction must be presented in terms of I cap, J cap and K cap. So I'll write here see, the x component of electric field is in this direction, so we'll write E vector is equals to minus E cos theta I cap plus E sin theta, and it is J cap, and we all know that theta must be 30 degree. So E vector is equals to minus E means minus 400 by root 3 cos 30 I cap plus 400 by root 3 sin 30, and it is J cap. So E vector is equals to minus 400 by root 3 cos 30 must be root 3 by 2 I cap plus 400 by root 3 sin 30 must be half, my dear student. So half, and it is J cap. So E vector is equals to root 3 get cancelled, and it is 2 2s are 4, so 200, and it is 2 2s are 4, it is 200. So minus 200 I cap plus 200 by root 3 J cap. This is the value of electric field in terms of vector quantity. We'll already discuss about magnitude of electric field. It is 400 by root 3. So this is all about this question, my dear student. I hope you all understand how to solve these kinds of question. You have to understand these kind of question, how will solving these types of questions. So moving forward, my dear student, let us start another topic. It is, write down electric potential, write down electric potential due to ring, electric potential due to ring, electric potential due to ring. We are discussing now next topic. It is electric potential due to ring having charge capital Q, having charge capital Q, electric potential due to ring, electric potential due to ring having charge capital Q and radius A, having charge capital Q and radius A at a point on the axis of the ring, at a point on the axis of a ring x distance apart from the center of ring, x distance apart from the center of ring. So my dear student, now we have to find electric potential due to ring having charge capital Q and radius A at a point on the axis of ring x distance apart from the center of the ring. So my dear student, as we know, ring is a continuous body. Remember this thing, ring is a continuous body and we don't know how to find electric potential due to continuous charge. Because see, if we have a ring, let's suppose this is the situation, this is your ring, this is your ring and this is the radius of ring. Axis of ring means the line which passes from the center of ring. So this is a ring in which Q charge is present and the radius of ring is A. We have to find electric potential at this point P, x distance apart from this ring. Now see, as we know that ring is a continuous body, not a point body, or we can say ring is not a point charge. If any charge is present on ring, then that charge is not considered to be point charge, my dear student, because ring is a continuous body. If charge is present on ring, then the charge must be continuous charge. And we only know about electric potential due to point charge. We only know about electric potential due to point charge, and the value of electric potential due to point charge is kq by r. This thing is only known by us, that electric potential due to point charge at any point P is kq by r. But if you will see, the charge is present on ring. So ring is not a point charge, ring is considered to be a continuous charge. So what we have to do, we'll take us, as we know that basically if you'll rotate the rod, it forms ring, and we know that the physical parameter of rod is length. Similarly, the physical parameter of ring is also considered to be, my dear student, length. So let us consider a small length here in this ring. Let's say this small length is dl, and we know that this q charge is distributed uniformly throughout the ring. So if the charge is uniformly distributed throughout the ring, then if we'll consider a small length, that small length carry small charge, because ring has physical parameter in terms of length. All the charges which is present on ring is on its length. So if we'll consider small length, then small charge is there on this small length dq. Now see, this dq will act like point charge, acts like a point charge. dq will act like, my dear student, a point charge. So this dq will act like a point charge. Now see, dear student, we have to get the distance between this point charge and point P, where we have to find electric potential. So we need to find this length as well. So let's suppose this angle is theta, then by Pythagoras, if this is x, this is a, and this angle is theta, this becomes equals to a square plus, my dear student, x square. So this small length carries small charge dq. Now this dq will act like point charge, and we know that electric potential due to point charge is nothing but kq by r. So what we have to do, we'll take a small length in on ring, and this small length carries small charge, that is dq, and this distance is under root a square plus x square. Now see, if charge is very small, then potential is also very small. So for charge, or we can say due to charge dq, potential at P is also small, that is dV. So dV becomes equals to k dq by r, and the r is distance between charge and point P. So distance is nothing but under root a square plus r square. So the value of r becomes equals to a square plus r square. Now we'll put the value of a potential dV is equals to k dq by r square, that is under root a square plus r square, or we can say a square plus x square, I'm sorry, a square plus x square, because this distance is x, so a square plus x square. Now see, my dear student, for net potential we have to integrate. So for net potential at point P, integrating both sides, we have to integrate. So integration of dV is equals to integration k dq by under root a square plus x square. So integration of dV must be v. So v is equals to, k is constant, radius is constant, and distance is constant. So it comes outside a square plus x square integration dq. And now see, my dear student, if we'll integrate the dq, it becomes q, that is total charge present on the ring. So integrating, if it will get kq by a square plus x square and under root. So this is the value of electric potential at any point P on the axis of ring, which is x distance apart from the center of the ring. So let's suppose if I wish to find electric potential at the center of the ring. Write down next, electric potential at the center of the ring. Electric potential at the center of ring. So electric potential at the center of ring. So if you wish to find electric potential at center of ring, then this P point comes at this origin. So if P comes at this point, then the value of x becomes equals to 0. As we know, if we wish to find electric potential at center, then this P comes at the center of ring, so the x becomes equals to 0. So the potential at P is kq by under root a square plus x square. Now x becomes 0, so v is equals to kq by under root a square. So square and root get cancelled, so it is kq by a. The value of electric potential becomes equals to kq by a. kq by a. Now see, electric potential at the center of ring is kq by a, and electric potential on the axis of ring at any point P, which is x distance apart from the center of ring, is kq by a square plus x square. So in this case, denominator is less. So if denominator is less, then potential is more. In this case, denominator is more, then potential is less. So what we'll see here, my dear student, we'll see as we move away from the center of the ring, potential is decreases. Potential is decreases. So I'll write in form of note that as we move away from the center of ring, as we move away from the center of ring, potential is decreases decreases. Potential is decreases. Remember, my dear student, potential is decreases. So remember this thing, electric potential on the axis of ring is kq by under root a square plus x square, and electric potential at the center of ring is kq by a. So what we'll see that as we move away from the center of ring, potential is decreases. So remember this thing, potential is decreases. Now write down graph of potential versus x. Graph of potential versus x. So what we'll see, my dear student, we'll see that if we'll move away from the center of ring, the potential is decreases. As we move away from the center of ring, potential is decreases, because at center the value of electric potential is kq by a, and at x distance apart from the center of ring it is kq by under root a square plus x square. So let's make a graph of electric potential versus x. Electric potential versus x. So graph of electric potential versus x in case of, my dear student, ring. So ring carry positive charge as well as negative charge, and we know that if we are discussing about electric potential or electric potential energy, then charge is considered along with sign. So we'll make graph for both positive charge as well as negative charge. So this is a ring of radius a, and we know that at the center of ring the value of potential is kq by a, as at center the value of x is 0. Now if we move away from the center of ring, the potential is decreases and it becomes 0 when x is equals to infinity. When x is equals to infinity. So if the value, if any graph tends to infinity, when if any graph becomes 0 when it tends to infinity, then the graph will becomes parallel to x-axis, my dear student. So if the graph must be like this, and if charge is negative, then it comes like this. See, if x, we know that the value of potential is kq by under root a square plus x square. At center it is kq by a, and at any point x it is kq by under root a square plus x square. And we'll see if we'll move away from the center of ring, then potential is decreases, and when x is equals to infinity, it becomes equals to 0. As we all know that potential at x is equals to infinity, it is equals to how much, beta? 0. So if x is equals to infinity, then potential becomes 0. At that situation, the graph must be parallel to x-axis. So this is the graph of electric potential versus x, electric potential versus x in case of a ring. Moving forward, my dear student, let's make a relation. So write down relation of electric field, relation of electric field and potential. 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 As we all know that, I'll write the heading, relation of electric field and potential. We know that Ex is equals to minus del V by del X, Ey is equals to minus del V by del Y, and Ez is equals to minus del V by del Z. Now we are finding, my dear student, with the help of potential, we'll find the value of electric field due to charge on ring at any point P, which is x distance apart from the center of ring. We know that electric field due to ring, in first chapter we already discussed this thing, my dear student, that electric field due to a ring is nothing but, electric field due to a ring is kqx by under root a square plus x square. This is the value of electric field due to ring due to ring on its axis. On its axis, electric field due to ring on its axis is nothing but kqx by under root a square plus x square. This formula is finded by us in first chapter. Electric field due to ring on its axis is kqx by under root a square plus x square. With the help of value of electric potential, we'll check either we'll get correct answer or not, my dear student. As we know, we'll get potential due to ring. It is kq by under root a square plus, my dear student, x square. This is the value of electric potential due to ring on its axis. Now see, my dear student, we are moving only along x-axis. We are moving only along x-axis because the point which is present for finding the electric potential is on x-axis. So if the point is present on x-axis where we are finding the electric potential due to ring, which is kq by under root a square plus x square, then change in y and change in z becomes equals to 0. So this becomes equals to 0 and this is also becomes equals to 0, as we are moving only along x-axis, because the axis of ring is along x-axis where the value of potential is kq by under root a square plus x square. So let's check out. So Ex is equals to minus del over del x and the value of V is kq by under root a square plus x square. Kq by under root a square plus x square. Now we know that if root is there, then we'll get power as half. So Ex is equals to minus del over del x kq by a square plus x square and its power becomes half. Now moving forward, so Ex is equals to minus del over del x. Let's take a square plus x square raised to the power half in upside. So it will be kq a square plus x square and power half will becomes minus half. I hope you all are understanding. We'll take this in numerator, my dear student. Right now a square plus x square raised to the power half is in denominator. We'll take it in numerator. So power becomes negative. So Ex is equals to minus del over del x. Our term is kq a square plus x square power minus half. So we have to differentiate this a square plus x square raised to the power minus half. So dear student, we are differentiating this term with respect to x. So power comes outside. So Ex is equals to kq is constant. It will be comes outside along with minus sign, and this power also comes outside. So minus half, and then it is a square plus x square. So it will be a square plus x square, and we have to differentiate this term with respect to x. So x can be differentiated one more time. So x square becomes equals to 2x. I hope you all are understanding. So the term is minus half comes outside, and from power we have to subtract 1. So minus 1. So minus half minus 1. And we are differentiating this term with respect to x. So x square differentiating once again. So it is Ex is equals to minus get cancelled. So it is equals to kq. 2 and 2 also get cancelled. So kq a square plus x square, and 1x is there. Minus half minus 1. It is minus 3 by 2. So Ex is equals to kqx upon this will becomes downwards. So a square plus x square. I'm sorry, the electric field on its axis is kqx by a square plus x square raised to the power, my dear student, 3 by 2, not under root. So this becomes down. So it is Ex is equals to kqx by a square plus x square raised to the power, my dear student, 3 by 2. So see, the value of electric field with the help of electric potential is same as the value of electric field due to ring on its axis. So our relation is very correct. Remember this thing, my dear student. If you have to differentiate potential with respect to x, you will get electric field along that axis. So we know the value of electric field due to ring on its axis is kqx by a square plus x square raised to power 3 by 2. We know the value of electric potential on ring. It is kq by under root a square plus x square. So we have to differentiate this with respect to x. So we'll take instead of under root, I'll put half, and after then we'll take this denominator in numerator, so it becomes minus half. We are differentiating the potential with respect to x, so we have to differentiate x two times. First with power, chain rule. I hope you all are in second year, so you must aware with chain rule. So a square plus x square raised to the power half comes outside, and we have to subtract with half with 1, so half comes outside and half minus 1, and we have to differentiate x square again because we are differentiating this term with respect to x, so it will be 2x. So kq a square plus x square raised to power minus 3 by 2 and x. So electric field due to ring on its axis becomes equals to kqx by a square plus x square raised to the power 3 by 2. I hope you all understand this concept, my dear student. Moving forward, let's make another topic. Write down electric potential due to uniformly charged thin spherical shell. Electric potential due to uniformly charged thin spherical shell. Electric field due to uniformly charged thin spherical shell. So see, my dear student, we are now finding electric potential due to thin spherical shell having uniformly charge q. Now see, my dear student, remember one thing, there is a theorem called Newton's shell theorem. Remember, there is a theorem called Newton's shell theorem. Newton's shell theorem says, if you have an shell, let's suppose the shell carries some charge q, and let's say the radius of shell is r. We have a shell in which q charge is present, and we know that shell, inside the shell nothing is present, so all the charge is present on the surface of the shell. So this is our shell of radius r in which q charge is present. So Newton's shell theorem says, if you are standing away from the shell, let's suppose you are standing at this point P, then don't consider shell to be a shell. Consider it to be a point object whose total mass is present on the center of the shell. So according to the charge concept, if we'll say shell cannot be considered as continuous charge, shell is considered to be a point charge. Shell is considered to be a point charge according to Newton's shell theorem, my dear student. Don't consider shell to be a shell, consider shell to be a point charge, and its whole charge is present at the center of the shell. So remember this thing, if you have a shell, then can't consider shell to be a continuous charge. You have to consider shell to be a point charge, and its whole charge is present at the center of the shell, at the center of the shell. So my dear student, if we consider shell to be a point charge and we wish to find electric potential at this point P, which is, let's suppose, x distance apart from the center of the shell, then shell cannot be considered as a point charge, continuous charge. It is considered to be point charge. So total charge on shell is Q, and at x distance apart we have to find electric potential. So if you wish to find electric potential at this point P, which is x distance apart, now shell is no more continuous charge, it is said to be a point charge. So due to point charge at point P, we know that electric potential is kq by r. R is distance, here the distance is considered to be x, so potential at point P becomes equals to kq by x. So see here, the point P lies outside the shell. So if point P lies outside the shell, then the value of electric potential becomes equals to kq by x. I'll write here P lies outside the shell. If P lies outside the shell, then potential at P is equals to kq by x. Second point, if P lies on the surface of shell. Now see my dear student, in this case they are saying if P lies on the surface of shell, then if P lies on the surface of shell, then it is but obvious that the value of x, which is distance from center of shell and point P, becomes equals to r. The value of x becomes equals to radius, the value of radius. So x can be write as r. So potential on surface, it is equals to kq by r. Remember this thing, on if point P lies away from the shell, it will be kq by r. If it is if point P is away from the shell, then potential becomes equals to kq by x. If point P is on the surface of shell, then it becomes equals to kq by r. Then it becomes equals to kq by r. kq by r. So remember this thing, my dear student, electric potential due to shell inside the shell, on the surface of shell, it is kq by r, and away from the shell it is kq by x. So moving forward, now we'll discuss another topic, which is electric potential due to an infinite long charged wire. So write down electric potential due to a infinite long charged wire. Electric potential due to a infinite long charged wire. Infinite long charged wire. So we all know that wire carry linear charge density, my dear student. So this is a wire having linear charge density lambda. Let's suppose the nature of charge on wire is positive and this wire is of infinite distance. We are finding electric potential due to an infinite long wire. Write down heading electric potential due to an infinite long wire. Now see my dear student, we have to find electric potential due to infinite long wire. We know that electric field due to infinite long wire having, if linear charge density is lambda, I'll write let the wire is of infinite length in which lambda is linear charge density. We know that the physical parameter of wire is length, my dear student. So if the physical parameter of wire is length, then the charge must be linear charge density. So we are considering a wire of infinite length having linear charge density, my dear student, lambda. So for finding electric potential due to wire, we need to consider two different points, my dear student. Remember this thing. If we are interested to find electric potential due to wire, then we have to consider two different points. So let's suppose one point is at A, one point is A and another point is B. Let's suppose from wire point A is R1 distance apart and from wire the point B is R2 distance apart. So we are considering 2 points. One is A point and second is B point. From wire point A is R1 distance apart and from wire point B is R2 distance apart. Now see, between A point and B point, let us consider a intermediate point P which is R distance apart from the wire. Consider an intermediate point P which is R distance apart from the wire. So we have 3 points now. One point is A, another point is B. Point A is R1 distance apart from the wire and point B is R2 distance apart from the wire. Between point A and B, I am considering a intermediate point P which is R distance apart from the wire. Now see, my dear student, if you wish to find the value of electric potential, due to a infinite long wire, you must know about the formula of electric field due to infinite long wire. So my dear student, electric field due to infinite long wire is K lambda by R. This is the value of electric field due to infinite long wire. I am sorry, it is 2K lambda by R. Electric field due to infinite long wire becomes equals to 2K lambda by R. You have to remember this formula, that electric field due to infinite long wire must be 2K lambda by R. Now moving forward, we are considering two different points and we wish to find electric potential due to infinite long wire having linear charge density lambda. So we know the formula of electric potential difference. It is VB minus VA is equals to minus integral E vector dot dr vector from RA vector to RB vector. We know this formula. It is VB vector minus VA vector is equals to minus integral E vector dot dr vector from RA vector to RB vector. Now see, my dear student, we have to put the formula. Electric field due to infinite long wire, we know that VB minus VA. So VB minus VA is equals to minus integral VB minus VA. So limit must be R1 to R2. So R1 to R2, electric field is 2K lambda by R and dr dot dr and dr. Now my dear student, we have to integrate this. We all aware with 2 is constant, K is constant, lambda is constant, it comes outside. So VB minus VA is equals to minus 2K lambda comes outside, dr by R from R1 to R2. Now you must understand this integration. It is dx by x becomes equals to ln x. Remember this thing, integration of dx by x becomes equals to ln x. So integration of dr by r becomes equals to ln r. So VB minus VA is equals to minus 2K lambda and it will be ln r and limit is from R1 to R2. So VB minus VA is equals to minus 2K lambda, upper limit, that is ln R2 minus ln R1 minus ln R1. I hope you all are understanding this term. Now if I'll take negative sign inside, then this term will be shifted. So it will be VB minus VA is equals to 2K lambda ln R1 minus ln R2. This is the value of electric potential difference due to a infinite long wire. Now as if you are aware with the property of log, then log ln A minus ln B becomes equals to ln A by B. So we are capable to write it as VB minus VA is equals to 2K lambda ln R1 by R2. So this is the value of electric potential difference due to a infinite long wire Vb minus Va is equals to 2k lambda ln R1 by R2. So I hope you all understand this concept, my dear student. In next class, we'll discuss some more numericals and some more derivations. I hope you all are making proper notes. Try to understand each and every topic. And you are seeing that now the first chapter is connected with second chapter, as you must know about electric field due to infinite long wire. Then only you are capable to find electric potential difference between two points due to infinite long wire. So I hope you all understand this topic. In next class we discuss more topics. So thank you so much, my dear student. Till then, stay happy, stay hard, stay study hard, make proper notes. Thank you so much.